Independent judiciary. Now we will discuss what are the different types of features which make our Indian judiciary system different from other country. Independent Independence of judiciary means that the executive and legislature cannot influence the functioning and the decision of the judiciary. So what does the term independence of judiciary means? It is the you can say the features through which the executive and the legislature cannot interfere the functions or the decision of the judiciary. That means the prime minister, president, or any other members, they cannot you can say influence the functions or the decision of the court. The Constitution has ensured the independence of the judiciary through a number of measures. So, our Indian Constitution had already made different rules and regulation through which it proves as a independent judiciary. The judges do not belong to any political party. First of all, the judges who are appointed in the Supreme Court or the High Court or any other court, they do not belong to any political party. A person must be a lawyer to become a judge. So a person who can be judge, they must be a lawyer. He or she also has to have certain basic qualifications. So certain qualifications are also needed in order to be a judge of the Supreme Court or High Court. His or her political affiliation are not important for his or her selection as a judge. So whatever, or you can say whichever, you can say that particular person belongs, that means whichever political party he or she support, doesn't matter. Once the selection of a judge is considered, that means it doesn't matter which party they follow, but they should be neutral. The position of a judge is permanent. So the position of a judge is permanent. Once he or she is appointed, she hold the position till retirement. So once they are appointed, their position will continue once they are retired. He or she cannot be removed arbitrarily. That means the judge cannot be removed. So a judge is able to work in a peaceful manner for a long period of time. So the judge can work in a very peaceful manner for a long period of time. However, if he or she misuses his or her power, the parliament can remove him or her from through a procedure known as impeachment. So if um, the judge uses his or her power in order to do some illegal activities, the parliament can remove him or her from his or her position through the procedure known as impeachment. The judiciary is not financially dependent on either the executive or the legislature. That means the judiciary, they do not get money from the executive or the legislature. Neither the legislature or nor the executive decide the remuneration of the judges. Not only the you can say financially dependent, but also the legislature and the executive do not decide the salaries of the judges. It is already mentioned in our Indian Constitution, and accordingly they are paid. Next is network of courts. The judiciary works at different levels. So the judiciary, they work at a very different levels, because our country is you can say very huge in area, right? So at each level there is a network of courts. If a person is held guilty by a lower court of the country, after a trial he or she has the right to appeal to a higher court. If he or she feels that he or she has not got justice, this way a case can be moved from lower court to the highest court, that is the Supreme Court of India. That means if a person uh, had done something wrong, and and whatever the decision are given by the district court, and he or she is not satisfied, he can go to the high court. And again, if the decision given by the high court, he or she is not satisfied, he or she can go to the Supreme Court. But once the Supreme Court decided or give have given the decision, that decision is the final. So in our India, it is a, you can say, the courts are at a very you can say they are in the form of, you can say, as a form of network. That is, it moves from lower court to the highest court, that is the Supreme Court of India. So next is Supreme Court of India. The Supreme Court is the guardian of the Constitution and the highest court of appeal. So the Supreme Court of India is the guardian of the Indian Constitution, and it is the highest court of appeal in India. The jurisdiction, functions, and responsibilities of the Supreme Court are defined by the Constitution. That means in our Indian Constitution already the different types of rules and regulation, functions, and the responsibilities of the Supreme Court are already mentioned, and the Supreme Court have to follow that. This is a picture of the Supreme Court of India, which is present in New Delhi. Next is composition. The head of the Supreme Court is the Chief Justice, who is appointed by the President of India. So, who is the head of the Supreme Court? It is the Chief Justice of India, and he or she is appointed by the President of India. Another 25 judges work with him. So, apart from Chief Justice, there are other 25 judges who work with Chief Justice of India. They are also appointed by the President in consultation with the Chief Justice. So, the other 25 judges are also appointed by the President with the consultation of the Chief Justice of India. Next is qualification. To become a judge of the Supreme Court, a person need to have the following qualification, that is, he or she must be the citizen of India. Next, he or she must have at least 10 years of experience as an advocate or 5-year experience as a high court judge. So he or she at least have a 10 years of experience as an advocate or 5 years experience as a high court judge. Then only he or she will be eligible as a judge of a Supreme Court. He or she may have been a member of the distinguished juries. So they have to be a member of the distinguished juries. Next is tenure. The judges of the Supreme Court retire at the age of 65. So till 65 they are eligible, and after that they have to retire. If they misuse their power, they can be removed by Parliament by the process of impeachment. So in between or till they become 65 years of age, if they are found guilty or if they misuse the power, then they can be removed by the Parliament by the process known as impeachment. Next is the powers of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has a wide range of function. Its powers can be broadly categorized as original jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction, advisory jurisdiction, supervisory jurisdiction, and court of record. So these are the different types of powers of the Supreme Court. First is original jurisdiction. Some cases can only be heard by the Supreme Court. So there are some cases which can only be heard by, or only the Supreme Court of India have the authority to make the decision. These cases cannot be initiated in any other court. So these are the topics which only the Supreme Court have the authority, and no other court can take or they can deal with these issues. The Supreme Court hold original jurisdiction over such cases. Such cases deal with dispute between the Government of India on one side and one or more state on the other side. So if there is a dispute between the Government of India and the other state, then these decision or these you can say issue can only be taken to the Supreme Court. Next is dispute between two or more states. So if there is a dispute between two or more states, that particular issues will go to the Supreme Court of India. Dispute regarding enforcement of the fundamental rights. That means the fundamental rights, the 6 fundamental rights which are given by the Indian people. If there is any dispute regarding that also the Supreme Court of India have the authority to look after this issue. Next is cases under public interest legislation. That means if the issues come under this sector, these issues or these cases will be looked after by the Supreme Court of India.